Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us, and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2023. And so our first guests of the year are the professionals from Morningside. We have this morning with us the Morningside's regional manager, Shauna Harper, and Nicole Sklors, who is the program supervisor from Clallam County's Morningside office, and then also Bethany McKim, the pre-employment transition services facilitator. So I am really excited to have them join, especially in this world of difficult hiring, and wanted to make sure that our community is aware of the opportunities that Morningside provides. So before we get this kicked off, I'm going to ask everyone to put themselves on mute, or I will put you on mute, other than the presenters, of course. And just so we don't inadvertently pick up any background noise. And also, if you have any questions, if you want to raise your hand, I'll go ahead and call on you, or if you prefer to put your question in the chat, we can ask your question that way. So with that, again, thank you, ladies, for joining us. And Shauna, I'll let you take it away.
Perfect. Thanks, Colleen. So welcome, everybody, and good morning. I'm Shauna Harper, so regional manager at Morningside. I've been with the company for almost 19 years, so super excited about that, and just really excited to share more about Morningside. You'll probably see a lot of enthusiasm out of me, because even though it's 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm really excited because I just love talking about, what we do and sharing with everybody just the awesome stuff that Morningside does and other vendors similar to Morningside. And so again, yes, I'm joined by Nicole and Bethany, and they're going to share some awesome information as well. We are going to take turns sharing information. There will be time at the end to ask questions, but feel free, again, like Colleen shared, to put them in the chat. I'm going to do my very best to navigate some technology. Again, it's been, a couple weeks now, and I may or may not have forgot how to push buttons. So with that, we're going to get started, and I'm going to start off with sharing Morningside's website, if I can figure that out. So, just give me a second. And Nicole or Bethany, if one of you could drop our website in, that would be super great. And I'm going to click some buttons here and let me know if that works for everybody. Can you see our website now?
Yes, we
Perfect.
can.
Okay, so I don't know if it's super small, but I'll try and enlarge it so you can see. So we have been around since 1963, which is pretty fantastic. And we've been helping change the lives of individuals with disabilities by matching their skill and interests with jobs in the community. So we are one of the nation's most successful programs for matching individuals having significant disabilities with jobs in the community. Our success lies in the extremely professional, qualified, and motivated staff who are the solid linkage between employees and people with disabilities who want to work. And being that I've been with the company for almost 19 years, I've been through a myriad of changes and huge changes just in the field alone. And it's just an exciting movement to be part of. And living in Washington State is really exciting because we are a very progressive state and very for the advocacy for individuals with disabilities. And we are an employment first state. And so it's just exciting to be here and be able to be part of everything. I've been part of many movements, and it's great to see where we were back, 19 years ago and where we are now. And so we are a public benefit corporation. We are a community rehabilitation program. So you'll hear the name CRP, and that's what that means, Community Rehab Program. So there's many CRPs in Washington State, and there's several in Clallam County. So the corporation is governed by a volunteer board of trustees, and we do actually have one of our clients on our board, which is fantastic. And we've been doing that for several years because we think that is very important to have the input of somebody that receives services to be directing how we navigate our company. And I do want to click over to our history really quick here. And so just kind of share that we were incorporated June 11th, 1963, and it was started in the basement of the First Baptist Church by a group of courageous parents looking for meaningful programs for their sons and daughters with disabilities. So I think that's a pretty cool start to a company because it was founded by the parents who wanted more for their children. So it's a pretty exciting to be able to be part of that. And then let's see, my next thing I was going to show you is I want you also to kind of peruse a lot of this. So there's solution for employers in our website, and we have different testimonials from different employers over the years. And there is a page on here about dispelling myths, because there's a lot of myths that employers have about hiring individuals with disabilities. And it's just a good, and I don't want to read through it because it's going to take up a bunch of time, but I really encourage everybody to go through our website, look at things, see the jobs that we have helped individuals get, and just kind of just the vast resources and the things that we provide at Morningside. And then I'm going to now move into our talking points. And I don't know if we want to Colleen, if you want me to drop those in the chat, or if you want me just to address them.
Yeah, just go ahead and go through those.
Okay, so Colleen had shared ahead of time some talking points, and that's what I want to address now. So how many people with disabilities do you support? So currently in Colleen County, we serve approximately 60 to 80 individuals. And we want to do more. We want to do lots more. We have partnerships with a number of different state and federal entities, and working toward the goal of supporting local businesses to hire talented, valuable employees who happen to have disabilities. We currently partner with over 50 local businesses, and we're always growing those partnerships. And even if you're currently at a business that you don't have a need to hire somebody, you might have a friend or a local business, someone next door to you, or might be in a suite with different offices, and they share with you, gosh, I really have this need to get these tasks done, and I just don't know where to go. That's how it starts. It's just that talking to that neighbor, that friend, the coworker, different people, because we have all sorts of very talented individuals that can fit into so many positions, and matching is our key thing, is matching the right person in the right position at the right job. And we do work with various funding sources, so it helps us be able to maximize the individuals that we get to work with. And so the next question, and I apologize for talking so fast, I get really excited and I have to slow myself down. So I will reel it in. Can you describe your demographics? So Morningside offers these employment services in 6 counties in Western Washington. So we have our Pierce office, our Thurston County office that also serves Mason County, Lewis County, Grays Harbor, and Clallam County. And we have been operating in the Clallam community since 2000, so 23 years, which is pretty exciting. And we have made great strides in growing our business partnerships and supporting employers with finding and keeping employees. Port Angeles and Swim are small communities, and our staff assist approximately 15 to 35 individuals in completing vocational assessments. And annually, we support 25 to 30 people to achieve employment. And in there, I said assessments, and I just kind of want to describe what an assessment is, because I am going to use that terminology throughout this presentation. And so we do assessments, and we do private ones within Morningside, and then we work with the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, one of our stakeholders, to do assessments as well. And that is trying out a job and making sure that the environment is right, the noise level is right, the time of day is correct, and really just getting a snapshot of how best that employee works in a type of situation. So then when we work towards putting them into a job and finding the right job, matching them with the right job, we know, okay, maybe a smaller business is going to be best. And so we're really getting that niche for them and finding somewhere that they're going to be successful and where they can thrive. We work with persons seeking employment from high school through retirement in all kinds of career paths based on the individual skills, aptitudes, and goals. Morningside also partners with the county and school districts to provide transition services to youth with disabilities who are leaving school and joining the workforce. So all ages, all ranges, and all types of workplaces. And Bethany is going to talk about that in a few minutes and kind of highlight all of what that means, because we do have a lot of services at Morningside, and we have even other programs that we're not going to talk about today that Clallam doesn't offer, but exciting stuff that we do throughout the state. So next question is, how many people with disabilities are looking for work? And we can also drop some of these links in the chat. So according to CDC's latest state data report in 2020, 22% of adults, so 1 in 5, in Washington state lives with a disability. So that's 1 in 5, like 1 in 5. Like I'm going to keep saying 1 in 5. That's pretty crazy. So many of us call this morning live with a disability in some kind, from mental health supports to mobility, learning, or intellectual disability. Over 1.2 million adults in Washington state experience a disability.
And real quick, is that a formalized disability where they, are on SSI or SSDI, or is it just, maybe they have a knee problem and would need to use an elevator or something like that?
I'm going to say all the knee problem, everything. So, I mean, everybody needs an accommodation. Everybody has something that, you need support with. I need support with things. Nicole needs support with things. We all have a network of people that help us every day. You lean on different people. And so it's really just trying to share that information and educate individuals, knowing that, we all are humans and we all have our things and everybody needs support. And, we have amazing individuals that are super capable and amazing and awesome, and probably the best employee you would ever have if you hired them. And it's just getting that education and that knowledge out there that they exist and they're there and they're eager to work. And I know Nicole and Bethany will shake their head when I say 9 out of 10 employers that I have worked with in the last 19 years always tell me best employees I've ever had, hands down best employee I've ever had. Most wanting to work, most willing to work, most jazzed to come to work every day because they really want to work, and they, they're eager to have that full life and have everything that everybody else has in life, because that's all they want. They want to work. They want to, have things at home and do all that and contribute to our community. So again, I'll get off my soapbox because I get just really excited and I just want to tell everybody, hire, hire, hire. And so back to statistics. So according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, only 19.1% of working adults are employed nationally. But to be fair, Washington state does a much better job of having diverse workforces that include disabled adults, but still the numbers are staggering. Washington's is by far way ahead of every other state. Oregon does a pretty good job, but we are like well beyond, but we still need to do more and we still need to do better. So next question is, do you currently have clients that are looking for work? Absolutely. We always have clients that are looking for work. We get new referrals, probably several a week, Nicole, in our Clallam office. We have walk-ins because we do work with different funding sources. We're able to serve, a vast population of individuals. And so we always have people and individuals coming in wanting to, hey, can you help me with this? Can you support me with this? And so I think probably have roughly 15 to 20 in our office right now that we're trying to find employment for. But that's always growing. And unfortunately, we had, I don't think it's affected anybody in our Clallam office, but it has in the other 2 offices that I support. When minimum wage went up January 1, a lot of employers struggle with that. And then especially when it first started several years ago. So we do get some layoffs because they're concerned about, affording that big bump. And so we try to offset that, and find, where it's going to work and, if we have to reduce hours, anything we can, because we want to keep people employed. So, there's that. Next,
how much of that is happening right now in Clallam because of the minimum wage increase? Are you seeing a lot of that where the employers are saying, oh, just can't afford this any longer?
Nicole, have you seen that yet?
Honestly, not really. We've been able to either work with employers to customize schedules and so that everything makes sense for both the individual and the business, or it just hasn't been an issue. A lot of times where we've seen people who are wanting to move on, wanting to move up and make more, our clients that we support have still been eager to stay in those positions and give me more. I want to do more. I want to learn more. I want to grow with this company. And they become the shining light, the star of the show, the person who's there, who steps up and takes on more responsibility, who wants to move into a new department, learn a new task. And so it's been a good dynamic thus far. I know that there was another minimum wage increase just now that we experienced. And so we'll see how that goes, and we'll see what kind of accommodations we can make. But that is a huge part of what we do, is we help facilitate those accommodations to keep people employed and keep our clients working and make sure that the partnership between the client and the business is always flourishing.
Do you ever receive any funding resources to help with the salaries that are necessary, especially around these times when pay bumps are required? What was it, $1.25 or so it went up on January 1st?
Yeah, the only thing that we currently have, well, and it's not Morningside, there is a tax credit that you get for the first year of employment when you hire somebody with a disability. But piggybacking on what Nicole said, we do, because we work really hard at having a relationship with all the employers that we work with, because that's part of our job. It's not only supporting that client that is there, but it's supporting that employer and helping them navigate, if they've never worked with somebody with a disability, and, reducing those hours when minimum wage comes around so they can feel it out. Okay, is this going to make a huge financial impact on me? So if it's reducing hours or changing things to, accommodate that, we do everything we can to support an employer, and, always still check in, because we've had some that have let individuals go. They went through January, February, March. We've kept in touch, and they're like, oh, you know what? We want them back. We miss them. We need them. We need to have them back. We can do this. We can make it work. So we've had a lot of employers, and we do what we can to support them. And we understand, because again, you have a business to run. So that's a huge thing. And we understand that, and we want to make it work for everybody. So just going into employment to begin with, we're very, very thoughtful and methodical about how we place individuals in employment and make sure that it's going to be the right match. And I will say match, Nicole will, Bethany will, because we really try hard at matching individuals so it's successful on both ends. They're happy, the employer's happy. And we don't just have this drawer of jobs that I'd be like, oh, here, you get to have this one. It's, very intentful on how we we partner with businesses, and we want them to meet that individual. And we've done working interviews. We will do what we can, because there's some employers that are apprehensive, that have never experienced it before. But being in venues like this really helps, and just exploring our website and going through those things, because you get to listen to other employers, all the videos. And so thank you. So thank you for having us to be able to share with us. And I'm going to touch base. Rebecca threw a question in here about the range of types of jobs. I think Nicole is going to touch on it a little bit, and I think I have it written in here somewhere in my notes, but literally everything. We have grocery stores, departments, state offices, and I'm going to across Morningside, you name it. There's, every big box store, small businesses, wherever we can tap into, we are there. We have individuals in the Olympia area, where I was based out of for a long, long time. We have individuals that have worked for the state for longer than I've been employed at Morningside, that work full-time positions at state positions, doing things that I have to learn and be trained on just so I can help them, because they're doing the exact work as everybody, you know, with them. And some of it's complicated and I don't know how to do it. So they have to train me so I can be a good support. So there's, and Nicole, you can jump into, but you know, there's Jiffy Lubes, Fred Meyer, movie theaters, landscaping. We have individuals, you know, like at car dealerships that either do detailing or actually are mechanics. We have coders. I have computer coders down in Lewis County working for a company. They're remote jobs and they're multiple because they're neurodivergent, you know, on the spectrum. And that's just what they're really into. And the business loves them. And so they just keep coming to us. Hey, we need more coders. So we are all over the place. And then, yeah, Nicole dropped in the chat, support a client at DSHS in Port Angeles, so has been employed over 20 years. So we are everywhere and we're looking to be everywhere because I assure you, once you hire one, you're going to want more. So I'm going to carry on so I leave time for Bethany and Nicole to talk. So what services do you offer people with disabilities? So we offer, ours are all employment focused and employment based, but we do work with DSHS. And so a lot of our clients have case managers that they work with. And so we are able to focus on the employment, but we help them, guide them to get other resources if they need housing resources or they need different things. We have, you know, partnerships with other companies to be able to refer them to that. So they're able to navigate through those different things. And we help with paperwork and everything that we can, because again, we have individuals from all walks of life, you know, that need all types of different support because we're all different. So the core of our services is this. So employers need employees, and there is an untapped market of persons who want to work, but may need support to navigate their path to employment. So we work with job seekers and businesses to make a match between employer need and a person's skill. And then we provide on-site training and long-term support to ensure the match is long-lasting, reducing turnover, and is one of the key services we provide to employers. So we do, and a lot of this isn't going to mean anything to you, but I'm going to tell you what it is anyways. And then you can always email me or Nicole or Bethany after, and I can share you, but we do person-centered planning. And that's really where we sit down with a group of individuals that know that person. And we talk about their likes, their dislikes, their interests. If they've never worked before, we get to know who they are and everything about them. So then when we do move into that path of employment, we know what's going to work and what's not going to work, because again, the bottom line is that match and being successful. We want to set everyone up for success. So very methodical in how we navigate through everything. And some individuals are in certain stages longer than others because we meet them where they're at, and nobody is the same. And so it's client focused and client driven services in everything that we do.
So Shauna, if you have somebody come in that wants help finding a job, do they have to be formally diagnosed or formally identified as having a disability? Or could they say, I feel like I have ADHD, or what does that look like, that process?
Great question. So we do work with different entities that do have requirements so if you work with DDA, which is our Developmental Disabilities Administration, and that's our long-term clients that we support as long as they work and they're in that program, they do need to have a diagnosis by the age of 18. And there's different criteria, but we are just moving out of, they're taking or reducing the IQ part out of that, because our folks are brilliant. They're very intelligent. And so they may have certain things that they have to navigate through, but they have a really high IQ and then they don't qualify. And that's not fair. I mean, because we all are, everybody has their thing. So, and another program that we work with is called Foundational Community Supports. And that's based mainly more on mental health. They have been I think it's been 5 years now that we've been working with FCS. It's been a pilot program. It's been amazing because that has really captured a lot of individuals that usually don't qualify for services and kind of just are these outliers that really need support and they haven't been able to get it. And that program has been growing vastly. And I know Nicole will shake her head. I mean, that's probably a service that we get we get walk-ins for almost weekly. And that's in every office. It's been a huge, very successful program. And so they do have some requirements for a mental health diagnosis. And then we work with Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, and they also have a subset of standards of diagnoses that they require, but they have different buckets that they can put individuals in. And so it's a little easier to navigate through DVR. We also do private pay. And so if you think, hey, I might have a personality disorder and I just struggle with filling out applications, we do work with individuals, that just pay privately, that may not want to go through all of the other stuff. They don't want to have a case manager. They just I need some interview help. I need you to help me with, my resume. And so we work on a sliding scale to provide support that way through private pay. And then, you can see that Nicole is putting stuff in the chat. So anything else with that? And because I want to move on and give the girls some time to talk, because I'm monopolizing the whole entire conversation, and I don't mean to. I mean, I really do, because I like talking a lot. So just other services, the job placement, intensive training. So intensive training is when we place somebody in a position, you're going to get a job coach that comes with, but that is all employer and client based off that need. So they can be there a whole lot or not a whole lot, depending on that need of that individual and what works for that employer. We do off-site coaching, on-site coaching. Again, we meet individuals where they're at, and we have a really thoughtful process about how we do our business development as well, and making sure that everybody's on the same page, everybody's, doing what needs to be done to make it a successful partnership. I'm going to jump to the last talking point, so then Nicole and Bethany can talk. So are most of your clients on SSI or SSDI, and what is the difference? So many people believe that working means a person will automatically lose SSI benefits, and this is not true. So while Morningside is not a Social Security specialist, and we cannot provide advice regarding SSI or SSDI benefits, we do ensure that every one of our clients has access to a benefits planner. So DVR partners with us, and we have other entities that will do that benefits planning. And it's a very thorough analysis of their history of working, their income, and everything, to really give them, this is what it's going to look like when you start working, and this is how it will affect your benefits. And so we ensure that they have informed choice and what they need to, all that information to be able to move forward and navigate what employment looks like. And most individuals would prefer to not have Social Security. They may not, they're like, I'd rather just work, I want to have that money instead. And so we just make sure that they have those resources and they're getting all of the information that they need. And because we want to make sure that job seekers with disabilities to make informed decisions on how much they will work and know in advance how that's going to affect everything. So we do have a mix of job seekers and employed clients who receive SSI, SSDI, or both, as well as some that do not receive benefits at all. So a lot of our clients that work full-time don't receive any benefits. So that's pretty much a snapshot of the talking points. And again, we can, we'll leave time for questions after, and all of our email addresses are available and phone numbers if you need to contact us for any further information. And I think I was going to show a video really quick, but we have 30 minutes. So I'm going to hang on to it till the end to make sure that Nicole and Bethany have time to talk, because it's been the Shauna show and I don't want it to be the Shauna show. So Nicole, I'm going to pass it over to you and let you take over.
Okay. I'm going to try to share my screen and cross my fingers and hope my technology does what it's supposed to do. Let's see. Can everybody actually see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to page through this individually rather than do a slideshow, just so I can pace myself properly and it doesn't go faster than me. So this is just a little overview of who we are in Clallam County and a little bit deeper dive into the businesses and contacts that we have. Our mission and values is the same throughout the entire company, and we pride ourselves on our mission and our values. I have the link. It's not a hyperlink, so it's not unfortunately clickable, but it's posted on our website. It's in the About section on our main website for Morningside. We provide the training, coaching, and employment services that build self-sufficiency and self-esteem of people with disabilities. That really is our number one goal, is that we help folks become part of their community. It feels good to work. It feels good to contribute. It feels good to be a part of everything. They build relationships with the people they work for. They build relationships with the people they work with, and they make new friendships just by being there. I have a client that I had supported for well over a year, that every day that he's at work, somebody tells him, "Oh, you do such a great job. We just love seeing you here. This is wonderful." And you can just see it on his face. You can see it in who he is as a person, that it just bolsters him up every single time. And that's for all of our clients. We want that for everybody. We envision a world where people with disabilities have the same opportunities for employment and self-sufficiency as every other community member. That really is the overall goal. They're part of the community. They're like everybody else. They should have the opportunities that everybody has. And that really is, these are just the cornerstones of how our entire company in every county guides our services. In every office, we pride ourselves on our teamwork. It's really important to build those connections between individuals in our office and between all of our offices. We have people that we lean on for support, and we can reach out to any of the other counties. Everybody has different lines of experience. Everybody has different times of experience. They've supported individuals with, you name it, for supports. And if something is new, well, there's a vast resource that we can tap into within our own company. How do we do this? How do we layer in more support? How do we pull together as many people as we need to make this possible? And we'll find a way to do it. Part of that is communication. It's always open, always with sincerity, and always with respect. Our standard is excellence every step of the way, every single office. We are always learning new things. It's an innovative process. You can't learn how to do this overnight, and it's a dynamic industry. People are dynamic in and of themselves. How do you support human beings without being adaptive, without learning to change, without learning something new? And all a part of that is advocacy. How do we also create change? How do we get our voice out there on behalf of people who might not be able to speak for themselves, who might not be able, who don't necessarily even have the confidence? How do you build that confidence in somebody? How do you help raise them up so they do have a voice for themselves? We'll speak with you. We'll speak for you. We'll help you speak for yourself. It's all a part of advocacy and service to others. It's involving the entire community to see what we do. It's involving as many people as possible to see the wealth and the benefit of what we do. And it really helps hold all of us as individuals accountable for being a part of the entire mission and raising awareness, building up everything that we do, and showing people that everything that we're doing is tying together to help us respect everyone and help them learn how to respect themselves differently, and really valuing the diversity that all of our clients and people in general really bring to one another, and the benefit of that in your community. And all of these are available on our website. I know that link was dropped in the chat prior. So if you want to read through any of this, it's available in the About Us section on our Morningside website. We have a tiny little team in our office. We're pretty small, but we have a growing community, but a small community. Again, our regional manager is Shauna Harper. She is present. I am Nicole Sklors. I am the program supervisor in our Clallam office. I live in Sequim. I commute to PA. I grew up here. I graduated in 2000. I've been with Morningside for 2 years and 3 months. My administrative assistant in our office, our program assistant, Melissa Cantu, she's an extremely valuable resource. A lot of times when people contact us or they do, they make a referral or they are a walk-in, she is usually the first point of contact because she tends to be there the most frequently and she gets the paperwork rolling and she tends to schedule the meetings. And so likely if somebody reaches out, it's either Melissa or myself who are the first contact. We have 2 pre-ETS facilitators. We have Bethany McKim, who is present. We have Whitney Moody, who I believe is also present in our meeting. Our transitions coordinator and career consultant, Samantha Taché, and our other career consultants, Christian Miller, Matea Ellison, Bill Scubas, and Jessica Pearson. And we're growing. As our business grows, we assess that need. We are always open to hire when we need it. So the more business we get and the more referrals that we get and the more our clientele grows, the better our chances of growing ourselves are going to be. This is a small sampling of some of the local businesses that we either have clients that are actively working or they're just partners in business contacts. We've done assessments at a couple of these. Like I said before, our longest, I believe she's our longest employed client that we serve. She's been with Washington State DSHS for, I think 22 years. We have clients at all Safeway stores. We have a new hire downtown Anime Cat, childcare, pet care, food, custodial, janitorial, you know, you kind of name it. There's all sorts of different things. We have people in hospitality. We have people in so many different industries and growing. And that's the thing that's nice about it, is the fact that all of us, when we're out in the community, all of this advocacy, all of this education to different employers and to different people, it just builds our contacts and we grow new contacts consistently. And we always want to grow more. I think our biggest overall, not to say that one is more successful or a bigger accomplishment than another, but I think one of our largest success stories is the Safeway stores and the partnership with all 3 Safeway stores in Sequim and Port Angeles. Currently, we have 15 clients amongst all of those stores, but historically, we facilitated 29 jobs between the different Safeway stores on the Olympic Peninsula. And for a short time, we supported a client at Safeway in Jefferson County in Port Townsend as well. Some of those people have decided, those clients have decided that they either wanted to move on or retire. But I think the important thing to realize is that we're very much embraced to make those partnerships and build those connections and have those placements, facilitate those jobs for our clients in those stores with the store managers. I mean, pictured, you see Mike LaGrange from the Safeway on 3rd and Lincoln, and with him is Ryan Brook. Ryan's worked there, I believe, for over 15 years. And we have a lot of people that have been employed there for 10 years plus. And that speaks to the employer, that speaks to the store culture, that speaks to the community, and that speaks to all the important parties that have come together to make this possible. And, you know, they're a champion for the folks that we serve as well. So here's our contact information one more time. This is also in the agenda. We're available all the time. I am available. That is my cell phone number. That is my email. That is the best way to get a hold of me, is through my cell phone. We do have other contact information. It's all listed in the agenda. This is just copied and pasted straight from there. And I can drop this whole presentation into the chat as well.
That'd be great. And then we can put it on our website also.
Definitely. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing.
And I'm going to answer the question, Colleen, really quick. for about Pierce and Jones and concerned citizens. And so we focus, because we're only on employment, they offer other services, but I believe that we are the largest of the three as far as what we do. And then Pierce Jones would be close second. And yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that we support the most because we are focused solely on employment. But then the others, yeah, they have other services that they provide.
Great.
And then I'm not going to talk anymore because I'm going to hand it over to Bethany. So Bethany can get a word in. All right, Beth.
Hi, I'm Bethany McKim. I'm the PREETS facilitator. PREETS stands for Pre-Employment Transition Services. I am going to share my screen now and see if I can. Oh. Can you guys see PowerPoint?
Yes.
Beautiful. So I got hired August 2021 to start this program. So Pre-Employment Transition Services is the newest program to Morningside. It started 2 years ago now. Yeah, January 2021 in Morningside in general. And they hired me in August in Clallam County to start it here in this county. So over the last month or year and however many months, I have been slowly building this program. I get into all the schools. I've been reaching out to local businesses. And so let me give you a little rundown on what PREETS services are. So this is the program that I run. It is called Elevate. Sorry, moving the little thing around that has our pictures on it so I can see my screen. So I provide a variety of services that I will go throughout this PowerPoint. Pre-employment transition services is for students 14 to 21 years old, as long as they're in high school or enrolled in post-education, so secondary education, a trade school, a community college, a university. We don't have a university here in Clallam County though, so that doesn't apply to this county exactly. So all the students have to have an IEP, which is an individual education plan, a 504 plan, or a diagnosed disability to be able to be a part of this program. So I am in schools all over the county. I am in Port Angeles High School, Sequim High School. I'm in contact with Lincoln High School. I do workshops in Forks and La Push at the Quileute Tribal School. And I do the workshops that I speak of are workplace readiness training and self-advocacy training. This first one, workplace readiness training, students enrolled in this program can get up to 40 hours of training in a year period, and workplace readiness involves soft skills. I actually did some workshops yesterday on how to communicate at work, how to do emails, how to answer the phone when you're in a business setting, and how that's different from how you answer the phone in a home setting. Workplace or job readiness, how to give an elevator speech, first impressions, how to apply for a job, how to build a resume, how to get ready for an interview, how to do an interview. I do mock interviews, budgeting. So I'm in the schools doing these workshops with students. I also mentioned I do self-advocacy workshops. So the students can get 40 hours of self-advocacy training within a year. So this involves self-advocacy goals, disability disclosure, when and how to disclose your disability if you even need to, self-advocacy in the workplace, how to speak up assertively for yourself, things we all need to learn depending on our personality type, how to connect with adult services such as DVR and DDA. So I am in the schools doing these workshops as well. And then what you guys can be a part of. So that is one aspect of what I do. Another aspect is individualized work-based learning or group work-based learning activities. So they can do up to 8 of these activities within a year. And this involves job site tours that I will be offering every week. These help students explore different jobs that are available, explore maybe things that they may have had an interest in, and then meet employers in an area of work that they're interested in and learn about these positions. So here's just a few of the workshops I've done in the past. I've done workshops all over the county so far. I'm working into getting into Forks, the West End throughout this spring. The Pet Sense, Bill Mayer, Heating and Cooling Country Air, Swim Doggy Swim, Loba Design, Safeway, Goodwill, a orthodontics lab. I have done job tours in all these areas. Another thing I do with students is the individualized work-based learning where we do job shadows. So here is a student who has expressed interest in becoming a veterinarian. She's done 2 years of veterinary sciences at Squim High School so far. And we spent 4 hours at the Llama and Alpaca Reserve and Rescue out here in Port Angeles. And they heard that, or we expressed that she had interest in working in veterinary sciences. And so they, at the end, after talking through everything it takes to take care of these alpacas, they let her administer medication, as is happening in this photo, and watch as they, disgusting, but cleared an abscess off in an alpaca. So I'll spend part of a day doing this. I also do informational interviews. So say someone is interested in nursing, which I do have students interested in nursing. They can't exactly do a job shadow there because there's a lot of protocol around who's allowed in back rooms of hospitals, and definitely with COVID, but they can meet one-on-one with a nurse or with a doctor or with a surgeon and ask them questions about what they do. So I connect students with employers, and this leads to connections, to networking. Another thing I do is paid internships that we pay for. You do not have to pay for them. You just have to supply guidance and a place for them to work. So it's 40 to 120 hours. They get one paid internship a year, and they are placed into a work setting that everyone, so first we do a job tour where they'd get to see the area and meet the employer. Then we could do a job shadow where they spend a few hours with you, see if everyone's the right fit for each other. And I am along throughout that, depending on the student's comfortability, your guys' comfortability. For the majority of my students, I just check in with them throughout job shadows. And then once we get a paid internship going, I am there for support, whatever support you guys feel you need. The majority, almost all of my students so far in internships have needed very little support from me. I check in, I'm there with them on their first day, helping them get settled and ready to go. So some of the places that I have worked with for internships, Peninsula Music, Bippity Boppity Childcare, who has since hired the student that did the internship with them. Lefty's Stadium, Just Fix It. We had a student who's interested, he makes jewelry on his own, just works with metal. And so I got him connected with a local jeweler, and he did a paid internship with him to learn actual metal work from an expert and get paid while doing it. So this is excellent, life-changing experience for these students. So again, what a partnership looks like with you, whatever your interest, whatever your capacity. If you would love to do all 4 of these things, phenomenal. If you only have capacity for a job tour or a informational interview, phenomenal. Any of it is something that students are able to explore. And there's little to no paperwork on your end as well. There's no paperwork for tours, no paperwork for informational interviews or job shadows. Paid internships, the most paperwork is signing their timesheet every month and signing the agreement that this internship is going to take place. So here's my contact information, and then my coworker, the other pre-ETS facilitator, and then I'm also in close contact with Tracy House. She is she works with DVR, and she is our regional transition coordinator. And then next, I'm going to briefly touch on something else that we do with the high school students. So my coworker, Sam, wasn't able to come, but Nicole's PowerPoint said there's a Samantha Touche, who is a transition coordinator. And so what she does, I work in group settings for the most part, outside of setting up those individualized activities for the students. What Sam does is she does a lot of one-on-one with students. So transition services is a team effort providing support to students with disabilities as they prepare to transition from high school to the workplace. Partnership between students, families, many different stakeholders in the community, which is Morningside schools, counties, DDA, DVR. We all work together with the student, and the student has to be DDA or DVR eligible, be able to be on or be receiving SSI, and be 20 to 21 years of age, so in their last few years of high school, if they choose to take high school to their 20 or 21st year, be in their life skills classes, and have an interest to work. And so what these students do, they work with Sam to identify job goals, support needs, work with Sam and their parents and teachers, everyone. Then they receive individualized job preparation services. So Sam gets 20 hours a month with them, with her students, and she is very personalized. She's working with a student right now at the Knowles Library, Port Angeles branch, working on just learning some skills. She's worked with a student to volunteer at the ice skating rink in Port Angeles, and to just help them learn skills one-on-one in a very individualized way, much more individualized than I'm able to do. So she also may be reaching out for very similar things of, hey, I need someone to just have this space where we are able to work on these skills, or maybe they can do an internship with you. So that's another aspect of working with the high schoolers that we do here in Morningside. So the goal of the transition program, it is by the time they leave it, to have paid employment, to have a job somewhere. So that is my Priettes and transition spiel on what I do here in Morningside. So I believe we have a few more minutes left for questions, if anyone has any questions about any of this.
Yeah, and our contact info is in here, and we would love to, we will come to you and present at your business if that's something you'd like. Anything, you can talk to any of us separately. We are happy to, give you any additional information. And, obviously I like to talk, so I will be more than happy to talk to anybody and provide additional information.
Question.
Great. Please, go ahead, Tom.
How are you financed?
How are we financed? So we are financed through state dollars and federal money.
Okay. And where are you located? Your actual building? Do you have a building?
We do. Nicole, what's the address there?
We're at 113 South Valley Street in Port Angeles. We're kind of on the west end of downtown.
And for the people that know where the Port building is located, or the EDC building, it's not the EDC building. We have an office in the Port building on the first floor, main floor. Morningside is located directly behind the Port administrative building.
We're right down the street from the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, would you say that you're an employment agency or a training agency?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. So we offer, so we help individuals find the employment, but then we also offer the training. And so we're really just an extension of the training that the employer offers. And so we help. So sometimes businesses, to log in, to clock in the morning, may have like a 15-digit ID number. And often individuals have a hard time remembering a 15-digit, password or passcode to sign in. So like we have tips and tricks, and, sometimes we put them on the back of their name tag so they can kind of just look and see, oh, I have my little cheat here, I can do that. And so we help just enhance that training and add those little bits and pieces to help them be successful, whatever that is. Because we all have, you know, our different way of taking notes, reminding ourselves to do things and stuff. And so we just help with those pieces. And then we're there, depending on the funding source, if it's through DDA, we're there for the long haul. And so we help provide that ongoing training. So if they're going to get new tasks, we're there to help with that. If there's, you know, communication that needs to happen. And so we provide that advocacy, and we teach that self-advocacy and really help build that partnership between you and that employee, because they're your employee. We're just, you know, there to help add into that, you know, those pieces and connect that, and, you know, be there for different, you know, situations, and that advocacy piece.
So when you give a job to somebody who works at Safeway, do they actually are a Safeway employee, or are they your employee?
They are all employed by the company. We do not employ anybody. We just help. So we're just that we assist with interviews and just those pieces that are difficult, because a lot of individuals with disabilities, you know, struggle with interviewing. They have a hard time making eye contact and different stuff. And so we just help partner that and really highlight the strengths of that individual and give them an opportunity to get their foot in the door and highlight, you know, and showcase, you know, what they are capable and very able to do. And so that's what we help with. And so everybody has something different that they need. And so we, again, it's client focused and client driven, and what supports that they, you know, they are seeking. Because some of our clients slay interviews and do a million times better than I could ever do in an interview. And,
Sure.
you know, some just can't fill out a resume. They don't know how to answer. I mean, I believe one year it took 8 of our staff at Morningside to just get through the Lowe's personality questionnaire before like someone passed. So it's just navigating some of those nuances and just assisting individuals, you know, with those barriers that, you know, a lot of us encounter.
Sounds great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.
So do you partner and work with WorkSource? I mean, they have such a array of openings, and they try to help connect people that are unemployed, but they don't focus on the disabled population. So is there a relationship there between Morningside and the CRPs of the county and WorkSource?
Yes. So we partner with the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, and they are work with WorkSource. And so actually in Thurston County, DVR, part of DV, they have someone housed at the WorkSource building. And so they offer amazing, you know, classes on doing interviews and stuff. And so we encourage individuals to, you know, tap into some of those resources. And so we do our best, to partner with them. We get some referrals from them often. I've actually had former Morningside employees go work for WorkSource and then be like, hey, like, and so then we can partner together because they know what we're about and what we're able to do. So we really try to partner with everybody we can in the community to be able to provide everybody with an opportunity.
Great. Okay, well, I see it is 9 o'clock, and if your questions didn't get answered, you did see the email addresses for the Morningside professionals, and you could email them directly. I'm sure they'll get right back to you. They've been really responsive to us in the past. So thank you so much, ladies, for presenting today. And, you know, the service you provide is so incredibly important. Helping people with challenges actually become really productive members of our community and our economy. And then, of course, also making their lives more fulfilling. So thank you so much for not just presenting today, but all you do.
Thank you, Colleen. And thank you so much for having us. It's been a pleasure. And again, I'm more than happy to share anything else with anybody. So please reach out. And I'm up in Clallam County once a week. So I'm more than happy to meet with anybody in person as well.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. And have a great day. Bye-bye.